So I'm here to shed the light, you guys, on the real reason why success, when I mean success in this example, I mean financial success. And really, when you think about it, all forms of success, whether it be physical success, spiritual success, which is for me through Christ. But really, we'll talk on financial success. You know, we've all heard the stories of the couple who passed away. They were living in meager circumstances, very little income coming in, and they left millions of dollars to charities or to a family. Or most recently, I read an article. I think his name was Earl, who never made any more than $11 an hour his whole life, yet is worth half a $1 million right now. And so then you have people who work two-income households. They're bringing in, more than most of these people. Or you have people who are single and bringing in more than $11 an hour and broker than ever. I mean, we're in a negative. Our checking accounts it's a balancing act. Our credit is horrific. Why is this? Now, I can tell you flat out that myself, growing up, my dad and my mom meant well, but credit was just not a conversation that we talked about. I wish that we had to have the conversation about the importance of credit. By the age of, I want to say 21, 22, at the very most 23 or 24, I was $40,000 in debt, just off, BS. I mean, really. And so, I'm not blaming my parents. I mean, obviously I was making some really poor choices, but my point is the education part of it, especially in the black community, it lacks so much. And in fact, it's deep-rooted because if you really want to go all the way back, it goes all the way back to slavery, being oppressed and being taught just enough to say we taught you something. And although the information is very easily accessible, I mean, we know that stockbrokers exist, but we don't invest. We know that information is in libraries, but we very seldom want to read it. But we will watch, Love and Hip Hop, or we will watch, The Real Housewives, because they're the experts, right? They're the ones teaching us what it means to be successful. This is the world we live in. Education is structured in such a way in many of the schools where it's only as important as passing the grade, or it's only as important as a collective school meeting the mark to get funding. But the education that's being taught in the schools is very irrelevant and most likely highly unapplicable to real life. And so we as parents, we as uncles, we as individuals, we have to take it upon ourselves to seek knowledge and to get knowledge and to apply that knowledge. The Bible teaches at the beginning of all wisdom is knowledge of God and knowing who God is, seeking Him. And we need to start really seeking Him and asking Him to reveal to us what it is that we must do to be successful. The book of Solomon, the book of Ecclesiastics, I'm sorry, not the book of Solomon, the book of Ecclesiastics talks about success. It talks about how really fools chase it. And most times they're chasing the financial aspect, they're chasing the money. And it teaches us that because we're chasing money, it blows away like the blowing of the wind. It's here today, gone tomorrow. And all success is like chasing money. Or chasing the wind, rather. So what is that telling us? It's telling us that being successful isn't about chasing money. The Bible also teaches that it is your blessing to your family if you leave an inheritance. So think about that. We're a blessing to our family if we leave an inheritance, but we're a fool if we're chasing money. Well, what is that simply saying? It's saying that we need to become educated in a sense where we're not being successful for ourselves, because we can't take it with us. But instead, we're creating an inheritance, we're creating a heritage. and we're educating not just ourselves, but we're educating our children, our grandkids, so that not only are they born into wealth, but they're born into the knowledge of how to be wealthy, of how to be successful, of how to be healthy, of how to be righteous. And so as a community, we have a long way to go. We love to blame the white man and say, well, it's oppression. And then, of course, they had a part of this, but that story is old. We gotta recognize that has happened, and now we have to go seek the information and apply the information. Then we love to blame the black leaders for not stepping up in our minds, like maybe Minister Farrakhan will say, well, it's his fault. He's not doing anything. Or LeBron James, it's his fault. He has all this money. He could be helping out. But that's a cop-out as well, because the truth of the matter is that nobody can go to heaven for us, and nobody's going to feed our families for us, and nobody's going to give us the education. We got to want it. At the end of the day, it's up to us to want to have the knowledge of God. The same have to want the knowledge of wealth, the knowledge of success, the knowledge of health. So this is something that we have got to become passionate about. It can't be, just read Think and Grow Rich and think that's it. No, we got to do some serious education. We have to do some serious digging and learning the fundamentals of what it means to be successful, the fundamentals of saving money, the fundamentals of investing money, what a 401k is. If you don't want to work until you're 6 years old, how to maximize that 401k. And if you don't have a job, you don't want to use a 401k, how to save money, how to use money market accounts and CDs and how to invest, how to use brokers, how to invest from home, how to use the money currency exchange, the foreign currency exchange rather, how to use real estate, how to get involved in real estate. This is things that we need to be focusing on. When we're focusing on love and hip hop, when we're focusing on the next reality show, when we're focusing on, if Kobe in his retirement, who's going to be a millionaire, nothing against all those things. Entertainment has its place, guys. But while we're being entertained, we're also growing more and more ignorant. We're also growing more and more unhealthy. We're also growing more and more unrighteous. We're just digressing as a people. And although there's much progress to be seen, and there's much progress out here, there's so much more work to do. And it starts with self, guys. It starts with you. You got to make a decision to be a winner. You got to make a decision that today is the day that you choose to win. And then you got to make every calculated steps to win. It's about the DMO, you guys, the daily method of operation. What are you doing today to accomplish the greater goal? And we all know it starts with writing those goals out and systematically going after them. So as I'm preaching to you and talking to you, I'm most definitely talking to self. We got to stop making excuses. I don't care where we work. I don't care what we have done in our past. I don't care if you're a felon like me. I don't care if you're uneducated. I don't care if you're poor. I don't care if you're poor in the sense of you're just passing opportunities over repeatedly, or if you're poor, you feel like you don't have the money. There's no excuse, because in every excuse we have, there's someone who had the exact same situation or worse who's making it happen. So we got to shake that off, guys. Let's make it happen. Today, choose to win. It's win time. God bless. Be great.